Hey, have you ever stepped outside and it feels like the weather's trying to kill you? Well, that's what it felt like this morning. I walked out the front door and it was 38 below zero. Tonight, it's going down to 44 below zero, and that's without any wind. It really felt like the weather was trying to kill me. Now, maybe it's a little bit how Gen Z is feeling today. It seems like things are stacked against them to some degree. If you look at the stats, 40% of employers don't want to hire a Gen Z anymore. 60% have fired one in the last 30 days, and 54% of all Gen Z, as they consider their future, they consider it with a sense of hopelessness. Why? What's happened? Well, when it comes to the weather, it's guaranteed. Spring is coming. It's a guarantee. It happens every year. There's hope, there's green, there's new growth. Well, what about Gen Z? Is spring coming for them? What about the hope that they need for the future? Well, there's no guarantee. They can have it, but there's no guarantee, because what they're lacking is the foundation that they need if they're going to succeed as they enter the workforce. You see, there's a gap, and the gap is the difference between what employers and customers expect as they hire a Gen Z and what Gen Z is actually being able to bring into the workforce. There's a gap. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some really tremendous Gen Zs in the workforce right now. They're succeeding exceptionally well. They're doing really well. But they're fairly few and far between. The majority are lacking that foundation. They aren't able to fill that gap of expectations. That's why I wrote the book, Fill the Gap, How Gen Z Can Enter the Workforce with Competence and with Confidence. My name's Todd Reimer. I'm a leadership coach and trainer, and I'm an employer, and I'm also a dad to 3 adult Gen Zs. So I see the situation from multiple perspectives. There is hope for Gen Z. I'm seeing a number who are succeeding phenomenally, but I'm seeing an even larger number who aren't. They need the tools and the skills to be able to fill that gap. And that's what my book, Fill the Gap, puts into your hands and gives you the ability to put into theirs, because there's a book specifically for Gen Zs, or there's also Fill the Gap for parents of teens and preteens, so that you can be more hands-on in preparing your younger children to succeed as they enter the workforce eventually. There's also a bonus. If you go to my website, www.youfillthegap.com, or click on the Learn More button below, you're going to pick up a bonus offer as well. I put together a handbook. It's called Your First 90 Days. Because the first 90 days of employment for Gen Z are some of the most precarious, right from the interview to the end of their probation period. And this handbook helps them be prepared to succeed in those first 90 days in particular. This comes free when you pick up your copy of Fill the Gap. Go to my website, www.youfillthegap.com, and let's fill that gap together.